People are genuinely ideological and
Right.
they're not idealistic. Like, right, this is not some kind of revolution where people band together for the good and like pick a leader because like it's for the good of the idea. They're
Right.
there for themselves. And so the minute
Mhm.
Trump bats an eyelash at them and offers them, like the ambassadorship to Botswana or whatever, they're in. So I think that's the problem here. And you know, somebody who took one of those ambassadorships, actually, good segue to her, Nikki Haley. um, she also announced, and she had this interesting back and forth in this interview where she was asked about abortion. And I think her answer pretty much sums up everything we need to know about her candidacy. Let's go to this clip.
Former President Trump has refused to say whether he believes Russia should win the war. Ron DeSantis referred to Russia's invasion of Ukraine as a, quote, territorial dispute. What do you think of that?
I think that that's a mistake that too many have made. That's exactly what got the Europeans in this
white privilege
place. And for them to sit there and say that this is a territorial dispute, that's just not the case. To say that we should stay neutral, it is in the best interest of America. It's in the best interest of our national security for Ukraine to win.
On Friday, Mr. Trump congratulated
that everybody can hear everything too. Got that in. Oh, why is she paused? Here, let's take that down to there.
Mr. Trump
Bring you down to there. Bring you up to here, so we can make sure that everything
Kim Jong-un is a thug. There's nothing
there.
good or decent about Kim Jong-un. There's no reason we should ever congratulate the fact that they are now
I want to make
vice
sure I'm
chair
good
of
there.
the World Health Organization.
And I am
it
good
goes
there.
to the fact that also the World Health Organization is a farce to start with. We saw that during COVID. I am unapologetically pro-life. Having said that,
I am unapologetically pro-life.
any more than I want them to judge me for being pro-life. I think that there is a federal role for this.
So that's excellent.
But if we're going to do that,
Low,
you have to be honest
doing
with the American
well.
people of what it takes to do that.
If the six-week ban theoretically came to your desk, would you sign it?
But why? I think that answer that.
Okay, that's working beautifully.
When you ask
wanna
Kamala
make sure.
and Biden if they would agree to 37
Working
weeks,
beautifully.
38 weeks, 39 then I'll
Working
answer
beautifully. That's why I want to make sure of.
Steps
Okay,
would you take
why
to
is she
prevent
still
mass
paused?
shootings in soft target areas such as schools?
Secure
Oh,
our
here.
schools. There should be one point of entry.
you know what?
There should be a law enforcement officer at every school. The reason a lot of these happen, and you mentioned a shooting at the school.
I just want to make sure that we are.
You need to end
Okay, and then
gun-free
the
zones.
last thing I want to make sure of,
Experimenting
once
with,
I've got
red
everybody
flag
up
laws.
and I
Is
can
that
make sure that
something
we
you might
can,
support?
we can do
No, I
everybody
don't
and
trust
we can see
government to deal with
everybody
red
is to
flag
make sure
laws.
that
I don't
we can
trust
get
that they will
3 screens
that they won't take them
in.
away from people who rightfully deserve to have them. The fact
And
that we have
that I
gender
can
pronoun
actually,
classes in the
hold
military
on.
now. I mean,
I
all
just
of
want to
these things
make
that are pushing what a small
sure that if
minority
we
want on
need
the
to,
majority
we
of
can
Americans.
play one more
That was a lot.
person coming in, because every once in a while,
I give people a
once we get
warning
the show
before we give them
really
Nikki
heavily
Haley.
set,
Our
I
apologies,
want
listeners.
to be
Here, I
able
want to point out. One is
to
one that we
bring
already
in
flagged earlier, which is, hey, do you think,
a
like,
guest
it's
or two.
wrong that Trump is
So
shouting
I
out
just
Kim
want to make
Jong-un? Look, we should
sure.
not be shouting out. I'm like,
Okay,
we're
are
not
they
doing
still
anything.
live? Let me
Nikki
see.
Haley.
They made it.
Trump
I
is
just want to
doing it, right?
see.
And kind of you were too, because you were like the UN
Right.
ambassador
So
at the time
full-
when this was happening. Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
wanna-
I've got some people in my life.
That's why, like, when that Jason Furman gets on there and says,
All
we
right,
need
so
to.
then I want to make sure that. No, that's just
The
that
only
machine.
way you get the unemployment
That machine
rate
goes a
up
little
to,
slow at first.
5 or
Okay,
6.
but that makes sure
is
I
by
can
forcing
see
a
everybody.
recession.
I can get everybody. I can get
That's the way
live
that
on
happens.
Facebook. I can get live on
And-
YouTube. I can get live on Twitch.
The idea, I mean,
and we can
according
actually
to
talk
him,
about all this shit.
If inflation does fall from 4.9
And it all
to
works.
4.1 year over year,
It all works.
Don't want that.
And what are renewable
and yet there has been no movement in unemployment, I begin to become very skeptical
How's the heart? I feel like it's good.
that we need to raise unemployment by 2 or 3 points. Well, whatever.
Let me show
To get to the inflation benchmark. And then he says, but that's only if you want to actually impact inflation. No, I don't think you necessarily need to
Well,
do that.
I don't think they're going to do
That
the
is what
big
is known
number
as like
again.
a limited hangout,
yeah.
right?
I don't think they're even going to do a quarter. I think they may actually lay off for a little while.
He knows
because there's no real need
the
to
Fed's
do
not
it.
going to change
What's the need to do it now? Inflation is not that high.
Benchmark for inflation.
And the problem is unemployment did go up.
Well, you know what?
It did. It did what he wanted it to do. And the problem is there's not going to be a stimulus on inflation for a little while. You know why? Because we're putting chips in manufacturing back. There's going to be a certain amount of inflation for a while.
It's moving in the right direction.
And it's going to be higher than the 2% we're used to, because that 2% was literally us.
Why would you do that?
Taking that labor. Sorry, I'm going to do a rant really quickly while I'm testing this, because that's part of what this change is. Is Biden putting all this shit back in is going to cause inflation. You know why? Because you're putting manufacturing back. You're putting manufacturing back. And that low, below 2% that we had was literally us using the almost slave labor of China and a bunch of other countries like India, to the point where now they're sitting there in the middle classes. Their cost of living is almost the same as ours. They can now do weeks of travel where they can go on vacation and leave the country and go see other countries and decide that they may want to move.
Who is obsessed with the mirror.
It's no longer just China going from being huts and villages to being overbuilt in ways that the CCCP can keep the money flowing, even if it doesn't flow outside, because now they've fucked up their farming industry to the point where they have to literally depend on outside countries for food.
Who launched his campaign this morning to try to translate what he described as
part of why they want to take over in Africa is food.
Personal pockets. NBC's
they need black
campaign for us in Fargo. NBC national political
dirt, basically, and they need tons of it. But will they use it right if they get it? And that's the problem. With this, there's so much going on, even worldwide, that we are not paying attention to, because no, don't need to. Why should I pay attention? So we are not doing everything right.
Unapologetically pro-life. It's like it's a person who's trying to have everything, and that's how you end up with nothing.
Yeah, my sense is here's what I think is going to happen, at least in terms of the media coverage. Chris Christie and Pence are going to be very popular on MSNBC and CNN and some of these other places.
Oh, I agree with that.
Because he is the kind of
Christie's going to be. Christie's just a talker. He wants to talk. He wants to talk to everybody. He wants everybody talking.
On Fox,
he wants the world to be, yay, great.
Yeah, and it all depends on like what version of Fox we have right now. Now the Newsmax,
this is the server.
Kind of stuff are going to continue to put Trump up.
Right.
Yeah, this is the server that's serving this up.
Reviews, et
it's having no problem doing
for some combination of DeSantis.
Yep, so it's serving
Tim
up
Scott. You're seeing a little bit of like
which is serving up too, and it's also serving up
Facebook.
Facebook.
Not a good sign for him.
Full on.
And that's what you're just going to see.
Serving up Facebook with everything on it.
Pick the story
I
they
am
want
in
about this
heaven.
Republican primary.
It is going to be great.
When the dust settles,
there's that.
Unfortunately, it's not looking great for any other scenario than Trump right now, unless something really remarkable happens here. So
I just don't see Trump being it. I honestly, I still believe, guys, that what's going to happen is none of us know what he's going to be charged with. I still believe it is going to be something that will be, once indicted and once convicted especially, and he will get convicted, I'm sorry, it's just going to happen. You don't want to hear it, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You don't want to hear it. I know you don't. What he's going to get convicted of will not allow him to run. That's all there is to it. That's all I'm going to say.
The chances that he's actually
will make him ineligible.
Incarcerated.
And in order for him to try and still get through, he's going to have to take it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's going to say,
going to be incarcerated at some point.
Because he burned every fucking bridge trying to stay in power like cheese.
The other day with Harry Litman, who I think is a former federal prosecutor, and Jennifer Rubin, who's sort of an expert in this stuff.
I believe
and we got into talking about
that,
well, Well, logistically,
an hour and a half after my show was supposed to be over,
put him in prison, and so
I can at least get the show live.
If that happens, what he's steering toward is just basically being ordered under house arrest at Trump Tower, and he could govern from there.
Or you build something special for him.
Yeah, but
well,
either way,
what are you going to build for it?
You're going to end up in a position where he's going to be able to be like, I'll govern from there. Yeah. You know, you can imagine it. Trump's
He's not going to be governing from there, believe me.
There's no difference.
I'm sorry.
What did they say
will
the prosecutors
be,
about? Like, so you
he
can't
will
technically
be,
serve
unfortunately,
if you're in prison?
what everybody said was
he will not. He's not going to be called. Sorry, I will keep saying it over and over again. He will, in what he gets charged with by the DOJ, he will be ineligible to actually do anything. What is wrong?
Can he run in the Republican primary? I could easily see even the ones he appointed being like, you know what,
there you went up
opportunity, let's remove
up there
from the Republican primary. I don't think it's going to happen.
I know. I'm looking at my
cat. Nominee, or once he has won the election or whatever.
Anyway, so we're good. We're good. The show can go on. Now we've added Facebook, and soon we'll probably add.
And then you have a Republican vice president who becomes president.
Probably even Rumble too. We're gonna go on everybody and.
All right. Well, let's put it
and play and see and make sure that we actually contribute a little bit too.
A developing story, as they say in media business.
We will monitor.
To that, I can do one little thing here. Where I can try and make sure, because I did not get a chance to earlier on.
It reminds me of
get to do my actual closeout,
Midwest,
where I can actually say, "Hey."
In the summer, like every few weeks, you gotta go down to the basement and then turn on the news, and it just reminds me of that. It's like, okay, we are monitoring this cell, and we will keep you posted.
I did it yesterday.
I can actually, yeah, maybe I can. Let's see. I'm going to try and do something that's kind of weird.
Like Lexus alerts, like, oh, the vasectomies have spiked up 10%.
No, it's not weird that I'm doing it. It's just I wasn't able to do it earlier because I was trying to get us up on Facebook, and I couldn't figure out why is it not going up? Why is it not going up? Now we're up on Facebook. It looks like we're good. It looks like we were able to do 20 minutes without any problems. No skips, no hiccups, no funny stuff.
I think no matter what you feel about it, has been a part of our lives for a long time.
I mean, I worked.
You were on it. Yeah, you've been on it. You know, and there's this long,
I'm not quite sure about
and very interesting piece in the Atlantic about.
Well, because I just want to make sure I can whip between the individual people. I want to make sure I can flip between. So we've got these two and those two, and then if I need to
I spent the morning
do a 3 going back to you. Nope, too
essentially
sorry.
What you get is the picture
Him,
who's
and I want the TV in there too. I want to make sure that we can actually also
under the previous leadership, other than insiderness, which is what got them in trouble with Chris Cuomo.
Solar charger.
In particular, perhaps.
So we got Steve screaming about 2016 shit that who cares? Way too
legal
early.
amnesty through Congress.
Why is it? Tell me something. Tell me something. MSNBC. Maybe CNN. You'll fix yourselves now that it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen because your CEO poofed, and maybe it's time for MSNBC to have the same problem. Why are you guys doing news as if it's drama? Why are you doing news as if everything... Trump actually fucked you guys over in such bad ways. He fucked you guys over to the point where you actually believe that every moment must be a breaking news fucking moment. And it doesn't. Maybe you forgot the good old days, CNN, when you actually made money off of being a steady, everyday purveyor of news. If something was happening, yeah, you might have saw the tweet on Twitter, but you went to CNN to get the news. Oh, nope, stop. No, I think I'll go to BBC now because CNN's going to give me some bullshit story that's conservative news, Fox News lie. See, that's the problem when you don't understand that what Fox News did was showed what they are. They are lying sacks of shit who have nothing to do with news.
Largely solved? Yes.
And if anybody actually sued them for the right thing, it would be to no longer be able to use the word news or information in their title for the next 100 fucking years. Or any entity or family member resembling or no, for years to come, no. You are not news. You are not information. What you are is a contributor to the lies and bullshit and fascism that is the last goddamn 1,000 years. What the fuck do we keep redoing this shit for? Seems like every 80 years is right, but it's getting better. It's getting better because now more and more there are systems like these where it's not just one person. It's thousands of us saying, no, this is not going to, we need to fix this. We need to not just pay attention to these idiots up here who are not always telling you the best. That sometimes what we need to do is say, no, we don't need you. We don't need to listen to you guys because you guys had it for years. And all you decide to do is go for money. Money, money, money. Whereas now you've got a bunch of us literally out of our living rooms and basements and hallways off of money that you guys contribute to us, making sure that we can do this. And did I just have a hiccup on Facebook big time? Or did I just have a hiccup on everybody? Looks like I may have had a big time hiccup on Facebook. Yes. I lost. Oh, because for some reason my network went down, it looks like.
Oh, we were going to do, let's hold it to Friday.
Packet loss detected. So it looks like, yeah, okay. Fuck.
Forgot about that too.
It looks like I was good for about 15 minutes and then we failed out and came back. Are we back? We're back on Facebook. Sorry about that. I don't know why, but for some reason, looks like my ISP might have dropped us down. Not quite sure why, because we're only doing, like less than 10. Between the two, that's why I'm doing it at low and making sure a haze of cloud. See, New York City is finally going through what we've been going through for the last 5 years with forest fires. Maybe now that it's starting to affect that area, maybe some of these goddamn politicians will start thinking about it and doing something about it. Just maybe. Just a thought. Just a dream I'm having. I know it's crazy. I know it's insane. Anyway, as it is now well past 36 minutes past even the 2 hours that I would normally do on a good day. But now we're 20 minutes in on Facebook and it's looking good. I'm going to sign off the way I would from everybody else. So have a good one. And we'll see you next time, folks.
Noah from Tampa. The coolest